Hello everybody, welcome to Marketing Analytics course. This is Dr. Shagata Chatterjee from Vijisom IIT Kharagpur who is taking this course. We are in week 5 and we are discussing about pricing, and in this particular video in details we will talk about price based segmentation. We also call it as price discrimination sometimes, and we will see how that is applied in multiple situations. So, price discrimination is something which is in economics 101 you have probably studied, and there is first order and second order price discrimination which is heavily used in the market, heavily used by let us say airplanes, where for the same seat in the airplane you get charged at different time different money. For example, if you book it early you have to pay less, if you book close to the travel date you have to pay more. That is one type of price discrimination. Another type of price discrimination is for the same type of people coming in the same at the same time period, you give them some better services at a better price and some lower services at lower price, like business class and economic class. So, business class and economic class people coming at the same time period, both are buying let us say 2 months earlier than the travel date, will pay different because the facilities giving is different. That is also one type of price discrimination. So, we will talk about price discrimination in this particular the Excel file. And let us say what we do is we actually, as I told, for a long period of time I told that there is something called willingness to pay that you have to find out when you are dealing with price. Now, willingness to pay is found out how? If you remember in your Contd analysis case, we told that we show people options and ask them that how much you are willing to pay. In monetary term they actually give that. And now you cannot ask every customer in your whole market. So, you actually ask around 2% of the market. You do stratified sampling sometimes. Stratified sampling means you actually break the whole population into certain demographic profiles, and from each profile based on the proportion of the overall population you actually create a similar proportion in your sample, and based on that you would collect the data. So, that is part of marketing research. If you have done marketing research course, you will know how this is done, which I will not focus on in this particular class. But let us say from a marketing research background or whatever, you got certain data which looks like this, that there are 10 customers and these are the willingness to pay expressed by these 10 customers which is written here. Now, what I do? I want to know that at what price how much demand I will get. So, I put these prices here, and then the demand is nothing but this formula. So, count if in what? In E5 to E14. So, it will count within this particular column E5 to E14, and what will it count? It will count if that particular value is greater than or equal to E18, that means 320. So, whatever values are higher than 320, that value will be counted. So, how many values are higher than 320? Higher than or equal to? So, the first value is this one is yes, this one is yes, this one is also yes, and then probably this one is also yes, so 4, and the last one 5. So, that is why the value here coming up to be 5. So, when the price is 320, the demand is 5, and so on. It has been done for all of the other cases. Now, this is the price, this is the demand. With that I have plotted this particular curve, and I have plotted in the basic pricing introduction to pricing or basic pricing slide, we told how to find out a trend line. So, we found the trend line and the formula is 563 minus 50.37 into x. So, basically the formula is price is equal to this one is this one is which one is price? This is price, this is demand. So, price is equal to 50 minus 37 into demand. So, this is wrong actually, this is demand. So, P is equal to 563 minus 50 Q, then what is Q? Q is basically 563 minus P by 50. So, that is the formula, and I can actually ignore this by 50. So, if I take the in 50s, this is the formula. So, let us say this is a easier formula to remember. So, I will go ahead with this one. So, this is my demand curve. So, now I have found out my demand curve, and I will show you how price discrimination works. So, similar to my previous Excel files, I will do something which is basically, wait a minute, which is basically single price optimization, and then I will do it for multiple segmented prices. So, let us say if this is the price, then how much is the demand? It is 563 minus this price, this is my demand, and how much is the revenue? This is demand into price, this is my revenue, and I will try to maximize this in my data tab. Maximize G10 by changing G8, where G8 is positive. That means, G8, the lowest value G8 can take is 0. So, I will use GRG nonlinear, and I got this value, and remember this values. This is $79,000 or something, which if you have only one single price monopolistic situation, you will get this. But in real life situation, there are multiple prices for multiple group of people, and that is what the segmentation is. Here I am doing segmentation based on price. So, let us say there, if I can find out there are certain people who are, when let us say when it is high demand and low demand, there are two time periods, and I have to keep this thing for high demand and low demand, there are two time periods. For when it is high demand, I will charge more, when there is low demand, I will charge lowest, as simple as that. So, here what do I am do? I am saying that there are two price 300 and 200, these are my starting values, and when the price is $300, how many people are buying? The number of people who are buying is 563 minus F10, F10 is the high price. And when the low, when I price it low, see, first what will I do? First I will actually sell all the products, whoever is trying to buy it at a high price, I will sell them off. Whatever is remaining, I will sell it in a lower prices. So, this happens probably for all those cases where you have certain number of seats, and seats you can book the seats. The demand is high and the supply is low. In such kind of situation, this applies that you actually sell at a higher price early, and then for latecomers, once the high price, high demand is taken care of, for the laggards, for the latecomers, you charge lower prices. So, here also let us say this 263, and then lower price is 563 minus F11 minus F12. So, 563 minus F11 is the demand when the price is low, but of that particular demand, F12 number of people, that means 263 number of people have already bought at a higher price. So, that is why the one that is left is only 100. So, 563 minus 200 comes to be 363, this part. This is the demand when the price is low, but there are people who are willing to pay more than that, more than $200. They have already bought at a higher price. How many those people? F12 number of those people who have already bought at a higher price. So, these people will not buy once more. So, this is the 563 minus F11 minus F12 is the demand at a lower price that you get. Then what is high revenue? High price into high demand. What is low revenue? Low price into low demand. And what is the total revenue? This plus this. Now, your catch is that how I will price in such a way such that I accumulate maximum amount of money at the high revenue, but still I get good amount of money in the low revenue. So, together I will do a balance. So, all customers who are greater than is equal to high, so who are high demand, charge them high, then whoever is left, charge them low. For example, to give an example, let us say sometimes we have certain various institutes have certain kind of programs. Now, in certain kind of programs, we first what we do is for those kind of programs, the seats are limited. Let us say there are 50 seats, or in this one there is no capacity limit, but initially we charge it high, and then we give discounts to fill up the last of the seats. So, that is something that also happens here. So, now if given this situation, if I try to solve it, what I am doing here? I am doing maximize F16 by changing F10 and F11, and F10 and F11 is this the high price and low price. These are the two values which are variables, all other values are dependent on this, and you have to do a unconstant variable non-negative, and I try to solve this, and it quickly solves and gives me this is the price. Now, check, one easy check is that the revenue is higher than this. It is almost, I would say 50 out of 70, that means almost 70% higher than the previous one. So, which is a big jump the moment I get this. Now, oftentimes there are capacity constraints as well. So, you do not know, you might have a number of seats which are limited. Let us say airplane where the number of seats are limited. So, let us say if you have capacity constraint. So, everything remains same, whatever I did there remains same. So, this is like this and etcetera etcetera, but I added up a total buying. So, I will just copy here, let us say 300 and 200 and okay. So, not 300 and 200, let us say 350 and 250, I would say 300. Okay. Now, this value is 263 lower than the capacity. What is this value? This value is actually high demand plus low demand, that one extra variable which has been taken, high demand plus low demand, which is your total buying currently, and your capacity is 300. So, you have to make sure that whatever pricing you do, your demand does not shoot off above the capacity. You have to make sure that it remains within the capacity. So, you do the pricing in such a way such that people who are in high demand will actually pay high, people who are in low demand will actually pay low, but the capacity is something like this. So, capacity constraint is taken care of. So, I will go to solver, the same thing whatever we did here. The extra thing that is given here is that F16 is smaller than is equal to H16. So, that means this particular value 263 is smaller than is equal to 300, and then I try to solve and I get 101400. It is still higher than the first single price. Now, I have a small question at this point. Can you tell me that why this particular value, which is $100,000, $101,000 is lower than $105,000 here? So, here I am getting $105,000, here I am getting $101,000. Why this is smaller? Can you tell me? This is smaller because there is capacity constraint. That means, when this guy is doing optimization, he has already considered this situation. But if I just put this 413 and 263, this value will be, so in this case if you check the high demand and low demand, this value is higher than the capacity, which was not there. So, 375, the capacity is 300. So, that capacity constraint is not there in this particular case, and that is why the revenue that is getting generated is higher than expected revenue when there is capacity constraint. Similar things are applicable for allocation of your resources for high demand people and low demand people, for as I told airplanes, for seats in a movie halls, how many seats will be of 500 rupees, how many will be 1000 rupees, one will be of 200 rupees, gold, silver, probably platinum, something like that. So, all of these things come into this picture by focusing on the demand. So, thank you very much. I will meet you in the next video with some other problems of pricing.